My name is Chelsea O'Brien. I'm back again. We're digging the Clarkston family farm. And today we're going to talk more about our space creation. I shared with you how new our nonprofit educational farm is here in Clarkston. And we have been working so hard at creating not just incredible programming for kids and doing some really special events for our community, but we needed to build the space. We had to create a greenhouse. We were planting apple trees. We built a chicken coop, and I could go on and talk about all of the different amazing spaces that we've been working hard at creating for our programming. What I think is really special about what we've been able to do here at the Clarkston Family Farm is in the process of creating these incredible growing spaces for kids, we've been doing them with kids. So they've been legacy projects for kids by kids. And I have some friends here today that can share some of their personal experiences with academic service learning, with our new construction tech program here at the Clarkston Junior High School and high school eventually. And we also have been working, like I mentioned, with our chicken coop, for instance, with our local Eagle Scouts and our Boy Scout groups, and the list goes on. We've been working now with our Clarkston Renaissance High School Adult Ed program. So we're really trying to, if we're going to plant an apple tree, let's plant it with kids. Let's do it with families. If we need to build a greenhouse, which we did, why not take that opportunity to have students who are learning about design, who would like to apply the math skills that they're practicing and honing in on in the classroom. Let's apply that knowledge in actually creating raised beds. So let's start talking with some kids. I think you'll find it very interesting. We're here with Jane Sorensen. She is a 7th grader at Sashabo Middle School, but I met Jane when she was in 2nd grade, and she and her amazing family, her mom is a 4th grade teacher at Independence Elementary School, had this idea to take this courtyard that was nothing but grass and imagination and create a space that was terrific for kids to learn and grow. So of course, we're fast friends, and we've stayed fast friends over the years, and the Sorensen family have been one of our most wonderful friends of the family farm. And Jane had an opportunity 2 years ago when she was in 5th grade to participate in an academic service learning project. It was remarkable. We were able to, with the help of our Clarkston Area Optimist Club, get a grant, significant grant, to create a greenhouse. We called it our Hopeful Hoop House. Jane, go ahead and lift up a picture of our Hopeful Hoop House. Of course, in working with the Optimist Club, who better to be hopeful than the Optimist Club? We thought we would name it after them, and we really wanted to have a space that we could learn and grow, part classroom, part growing space, and not just during the 4 or 5 months out of the year in Michigan that you can actually learn and grow. So the Optimist Club agreed, and they said, you know what, we do need to extend that growing season. We want to give you a place for working with kids throughout the year, even in inclement weather, especially in inclement weather. It's actually really fun being in the hoop house when it's 20 degrees outside on a winter day and it happens to be sunny. It's 70 degrees in our hoop house. So we were talking about space creation, and this was a marvelous opportunity to take the funds that we have, to work with kids, because they have the best ideas, truly, to work with kids and their creativity, to look at what we wanted to accomplish, what were our goals, and to see how we might get there. So, Jane, tell me a little bit about your experience in 5th grade creating our Hopeful Hoop House.
Well, in 5th grade, we were given different jobs by our teacher, and the different jobs were measure out the length that the hoop house is going to be. And then after we measured out the length, put stakes down. And after we put stakes down, to spray paint. And
Was it just your class, or did you work with other fifth graders?
We worked with other fifth grade classes because we rotated in fifth grade, so we switched between all 3 classes.
Yep.
So we had to kind of work off what someone did yesterday.
Right.
And yeah.
So you know what this reminds me of? Leader and me, synergize,
Yeah.
right? Everybody contributing their own unique piece to the puzzle. Knowing what your goal was, you guys, that was one of the first things we did, right? With all of our fifth graders, is we said, we have this money, we know we want to create a growing space, but how do we determine how big it's going to be? Well, we need to decide how many kids we want to fit in there, and we need to decide how much we want to grow. We also need to decide what we want to grow and why we want to grow it. So all of those, we call those mitigating factors or limiting factors, helped us create and design our Hopeful Hoop House. So you were able to come out with your class. How often did you guys come out? Do you remember?
Probably like 3 times a week.
Yeah, I think that was probably about right. And of course we worked with lots of parents. We can't do it without our parent volunteers, and we had stations. So everybody was not just looking, not watching somebody else do the work. You guys each had some amazing hands-on learning
Yes.
experiences. And I remember talking with you about this because this was something I didn't get to see firsthand, but you did a lot of preparation in the classroom for coming out to visit me at the farm, didn't you?
Yes, in the classroom we were doing a make food out of kitchen scraps, where I brought in half an onion and we had to try to make it grow into a plant. And so we were trying to figure out if we wanted to plant the plants that we had already grown in my science classroom and bring them out to the hoop house and plant them there, or if we wanted to grow them from seeds. That was kind of like a hard decision.
Yeah, and rooted in just some science, right? So you
Yes.
had to take some data, you had to do some research, and this is why I feel partly that academic service learning is so important, but also why we felt strongly as a nonprofit board that we wanted to involve kids in the creation of these spaces. I have had the luxury of working in education for some time, and I've had the great pleasure of working with some fine teachers like your mom, teachers that have these big ideas that are so excited about creating inquiry-based, hands-on learning experiences in nature. Unfortunately, not every school district has a farm that they can take advantage of to allow their big ideas to come to fruition. We are really fortunate in Clarkston that we've had the kind of administration and leadership and community support to say, this is best for kids. How can we make this happen? Part of how we can make this happen is working with our teachers and saying, what are you doing in science, in math, in social studies already? Let's not make it more. We don't want to give our teachers more work. Let's make it a different way to teach what you already have to teach. And academic service learning is a perfect opportunity to do that. So this is great examples. I also loved that you guys built raised beds. I thought that was really smart. And you researched that, right?
Yes, we had a raised bed for each class, and each class had to figure out what plants would survive the winter because we didn't know how cold it was going to be in the hoop house or how warm it was going to be. So we had to plant some cold crops because we didn't know it would be 70 degrees.
Did we bring
in the
some
hoop
cold
house.
crops with us today?
Yes, we brought some kale,
Yeah.
some cucumbers,
Right?
and then
This
a
one,
beet.
look at that beet. This is organic, no chemicals, by kids, for kids. Look at that beet, I'm so proud of that one. The beets are great. And did you know that you can eat the tops and the bottoms?
Really?
Yeah, beet greens are amazing. Great, and peas too, you can do sweet peas, that's
Yep.
a cold crop. And what else? We have some parsley, right?
Parsley.
Yep, 2 different kinds of parsley. We
With
planted lots, didn't we?
Yeah, we planted a lot.
We planted a lot. There's another picture here, Jane. Hold that up. What did we do with what we planted?
So we, after we harvested it, we took it to the school and we had a salad lunch for all the 5th graders that helped build the hoop house.
Yep.
We had a salad lunch with all of the lettuce and the kale and the beets that we grew in the hoop house. We had a lunch.
And was it good?
It was delicious.
It was like proclaimed the best salad ever. And I think kids that were like, I don't even like salad, they were really enjoying
really
that.
liked it.
And I was so impressed with how much we were able to grow. It was really a special experience and one we would like to do more of. Part of our mission at the Clarkston Family Farm certainly is to inspire kids about healthy food. The best way I know how to do that is have them plant it, have them grow it, have them harvest it, and then have them eat it. And I would even put an extra on that, have them share it out to their community. And we'll talk later at another episode about our sunflower market, which is designed specifically for that. Thank you so much, Jane. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience at the Clarkston Family Farm or some of the academic service learning you did? We have Dr. Gretka, of course, to thank for that initial spearheading, because it was our farm wasn't even created then, and she was so motivated to make sure that this happened for her kids. It's teachers like that that create these marvelous lifelong memories for our kids that really do help to support the rigor in the classroom. It's giving relevance to what they're learning in the classroom. Anything else, Shane? Do you dig it?
Yeah, I dig it.
Yay, thanks. I'm Chelsea O'Brien. Welcome. We are here with some fine young men from our Clarkston Construction Tech program, and I am so excited today to talk about how we create our spaces at the Clarkston Family Farm. We have a mission at our farm to connect kids with the natural world, to help them learn about where their food comes from, doing it in the context of a positive community gathering space. And we need to build those spaces. We are leasing a 6-acre farm, you might know it, the Bayless Family Farm, from the school system. And we've been talking with some of the administrators within the Clarkston schools, and we thought, what a neat opportunity with this new construction tech program to be able to have some of the learning that's in the classroom be applied in the field. And because our nonprofit educational farm is leasing this property from the school system, it was just a natural fit for our kids to come out and help us with some of the spaces we needed to create anyway. One of those spaces, which we're proud to say we finished by May 4th, which was our big ribbon cutting, so that was our deadline, was our sunflower market and gathering space. Our sunflower market was created by kids for kids, so we could share out what we're growing at the Clarkston Family Farm. It is a working farm. We have chickens, we have bunnies, we've got a greenhouse. We grow a lot of wonderful local organic produce, and that is shared out to our community in our sunflower market. It also is a place for our local farmers and local artisans to share out what they grow and what they create. I loved the fact that we were able to connect with these fine young men and women, and our 2 instructors, Mr. Pearsall and Mr. Wyckoff, were so generous with their time and helped us to make this space a reality. I also would be remiss if I didn't give a little shout out to our Clarkston Area Optimist Club. They have been amazing with helping to support us financially with grants to create these kind of spaces and opportunities for kids right here in Clarkston. So the questions for you guys are, how much did you love being at the farm? Was it a good time? We've got Jagger over here. You want to speak a little bit to that? I know you were there at the market because I was there with you over the last year. Tell me a little bit about that.
Working at the farm was fun. We got a lot more experience than we would have got in the classroom because it's like we're out on the job.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun getting to learn and putting it all together, seeing how it came together. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is neat to see a space that's really raw and had been, frankly, kind of dilapidated because over the years the school system was using it for a variety of things, but unless there are people there actively working at maintaining that space, things fall apart a little bit. So there was a lot of work to be done.
Oh, yeah.
And the transformation was remarkable. And we have you guys to thank for that. Dean, I know that you weren't able to be a part of that last year. I don't think that you were at the sunflower market so much, but we also are currently working on a new project at the farm called our Green Room. We're taking a 3-stall garage and our school system helped a little bit with modernizing some of the spaces. And we, again, were able to have some grant money from the Optimist Club and other local sponsors that just love what we're doing and want to help to support our engagement with kids in the community. So we've been working on making that space not just a garage, but a classroom. A great place for kids to come when they do our field trips, our workshops, our after-school garden club programs. It's going to be insulated, it's going to be heated, there's going to be better lighting, and you guys are helping with what right now? Do you want to share a little bit?
Yeah, so we just came from there, and we've been putting insulation in so far, and we started putting drywall in.
Right on, right on. And what's kind of neat too is we are working with other professional people in the community that are professional drywallers that know how to install windows. We had a gorgeous half-round window donated by Corey and Robin Johnston, and that was installed with the help of some kids and with the help of our local professionals. So you're able to not just hone some of the skills that you're learning in the classroom, but you get to connect with other professionals in the industry. I think that's a pretty neat part of it. Marcus, do you want to add to that at all? What have you been enjoying about the experience?
I like doing the insulation and the drywall. Usually they're not a very enjoyable job,
Okay.
but I think it's really nice to get experience with multiple different parts of the construction.
Yeah.
I don't know if industry is the right word,
Process.
but yes, process.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these are, as we all know, our building and trades are in demand, right?
Yes,
and
very
we
much so.
are looking at just the demographics of all this. This is what Mr. Wyckoff and I talk about all the time, but we're looking at the demographics of this, and we're seeing an aging workforce, and we're missing out on young, bright, motivated, talented people to fill those positions in our building and trades program. And these are good jobs. And I love that the farm can be a platform for you guys to hone those skills a little bit. And it's okay if you make some mistakes, we'll fix it up, we'll make it work for you. It's just terrific for me to see. And I know I keep using this idea of by kids for kids, but the farm has been just such a joy to create. And when we have young people coming into those spaces, helping us create those spaces, often we will take your ideas and we'll bring them to fruition. So I hope that in this process of coming out to the Clarkston Family Farm, taking what you're learning in the classroom, applying it in a real life setting, working with professionals in the community, that you also learn to love the farm and have that sense of ownership and come back and see us and play with the baby bunnies and maybe come out to one of our events and know that you helped to make this happen. What else might you like to say about the construction tech program or about your experiences at the farm? Is there something that you wanted to share?
Well, the construction tech program, it helps a lot of kids get hands-on learning, which they don't really get otherwise. Because in our classroom, we build the projects ourselves, sometimes with other partners, but it's mainly like all on us. And the teachers give us some guidance, but it's really nice because our typical learning is just out of a book, and that's how we learn. So it definitely, for the kids who are more hands-on learners and enjoy doing like craftsman type things, it helps us a lot.
Oh my gosh, you hit so many of the things that, as an educator myself, who also spent her formative years on a farm. I also had a dad who owned a construction company and is an architect, and my sister also is an architect, so I love building stuff. And what I have found in working with kids and being a mom and being in education and having these like personal experiences is what you're talking about, those hands-on learning experiences, Jagger. That's best practices for all education. So when we design curriculum at the Clarkston Family Farm, and not just with folks like you that are helping us build the spaces, but let's say our field trips, we look for a 10-20-70 split. 10% sit and get. Just going to listen, I'm going to talk a little bit to you, we're going to give you instructions, we're going to sit and get. 20% is share out what you know, turn and talk. But 70% of everything we do always is move and do. Hands-on learning. Get your hands in the dirt. Get your body up on a ladder. Let's start harvesting apples. Help me with the chickens. Let's work in the greenhouse. Let's harvest. Let's bake. Let's eat. All hands-on.
It gets us a lot of experience that most students, most kids wouldn't really get otherwise.
Right. But wouldn't you love it if we had those opportunities more? Like
Oh, yeah.
always? We also have been working with, and I'll be talking about with some other guests, about our special needs population. And the more that we've been designing programs with those kiddos, the more I realize this is just what we should be doing for everybody all the time. It's when I see people light up and like that light bulb goes on and you're excited about actually doing and learning. Because it's you, like you were saying, you're able to come up a lot with these ideas. I'm going to leave you with something. You've shared some good perspective for me, and it's really encouraging to see the smiles and to see the enthusiasm. And we need your help. We're a brand new nonprofit, so this is like the way we can get things done is to have your help. So please know how grateful we are to all of your hard work and your enthusiasm and your creativity. It's a great, like I said, win-win situation between our farm and the construction tech program. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you joined in today to our Diggin' the Clarkston Family Farm segment. And the construction tech program is doing some really amazing things. You should check it out. Thanks.